All right, welcome to another episode of the Pin and High podcast presented by Golficity. This week we're talking about the kind of controversial Jon Rahm WD after testing positive for COVID, just kind of going through that whole situation. We're going to talk about the Brooks and Bryson beef again, the whole thing going on. A little bit of women's golf, lady golf is important too. And then we're going to cap it off with some picks for the Palmetto Championship, brand new course at Congaree Golf Club or whatever it's called. So let's get into it.
Or whatever it's called.
You were doing so great until whatever it's called.
Yeah, I don't know. What was it? Congaree
I'm just fine.
It's just funny.
Congaree Golf Club, yeah. What is it?
Right, well, I mean, we'll get right into it. Yeah, what is it? Congaree what?
Congaree
Club.
Golf Club. I got it
Congaree
right.
Golf Club. Yeah.
Okay, so
no, you got it. You got it
guys,
right.
I got it right. But yeah, let's get into inside the ropes right off the bat. The whole Jon Rahm situation, I feel like what I've seen in the comment sections, people are just like annoyed at the PGA Tour. Like they're like, oh, why couldn't he play by himself? Why couldn't you like just blah, blah, blah? It's like, I mean, like you're put in such a bad situation there for the PGA Tour. Like, you can't really let someone play who has COVID. It's just like, I know people are vaccinated, but it's like, I don't know. We're not far enough removed from COVID where you can just be like, oh, you have COVID? No problem. Just keep playing.
No, we're not.
I mean,
they could have handled it better.
It could have handled it a lot better.
Yes.
I mean, they literally waited for him to get like off the 18th green and told them like, well, the cameras are on him. And that was just like, and like also like the guy has COVID and like you got these rules officials like in his ear, like next to him. And then there's a picture of him on the cart with his caddy. His caddy doesn't care. Like he's got the mask on the car and his caddy's just sitting there like touching him pretty much. Like,
well, he's been with him the whole time.
Yeah, the caddy,
exactly. It's just like
the caddy is probably fully vaccinated too.
I'm just saying
I don't think Rahm was from what I heard, Rahm was in close contact with someone early in the week or late last week.
Right.
And he got his first shot, his first vaccination shot this week. Then that's why he continuously getting tested for this week, like more than anyone else. And then obviously he tested positive. So I'm sure his caddy if his caddy doesn't have it by now, I'm sure he's fine, I guess, or he's been fully vaccinated, obviously. So,
but I think they should have
the whole thing
wheeled them off and then told them being like, all right, John, come with me. Like forget about the rest of the stuff. Just like come with us. And like, then you tell him that he has it. Don't tell him like the cameras are right there in front of him. Like,
and like CBS is like they're basically just like wrapping the day up. They're talking about how excited they are for tomorrow, the next Sunday. Rahm has a 6-shot lead. Rahm is going to run away with the tournament. And then you just see Rahm he's just so emotional at that point.
Did you have the 54-hole record or whatever at that point too?
I think it was the record. It was the record.
I mean, he shot a 64
under, right?
He shot
overall?
a 64 on in round 3.
That is
three rounds in the 60s.
That's especially at Muirfield Village. There was like 1,200 bogeys or something like that this week.
He could have been the second person ever to defend at the Memorial as well. I bet you could guess who the first person is.
Does it rhyme with Liger Foods?
Yeah.
Ches Reavie.
Ches Reavie, right? Yeah.
That's obviously it.
That sounds right. Yeah.
I honestly completely forgot. I honestly completely forgot Rahm won last year too. I just pictured Morikawa winning at the day. Murphy Village, obviously. But
I mean,
the milkshake.
I mean, it did kind of make it into a more like a better tournament on Sunday, at least a better Sunday round, because now you took Rahm out of the equation, who was 6 strokes up, and you had a bunch of guys. I mean, it came down to Cantlay and Morikawa, but you had Cantlay, Morikawa, Scheffler, all kind of battling it out there. in the final round. So
I low-key thought Scheffler had a chance to like. I thought he was gonna like post like a round in the clubhouse or post a score in the clubhouse and potentially win. That would have been an interesting thing. You don't really see often.
Didn't Scheffler had a shank on one of the last holes too? I saw a video of that. Yeah. I forgot what hole it was.
I mean, neither Morikawa or Cantlay really took it on the final day. I think
they shot even par, right?
Yeah, even par in the final round. I mean, the thing is, Patrick Cantlay had some unreal scrambling pretty much all day, and especially in the playoff holes and like the last holes.
18th hole too, yeah.
And there was also, I think they were on 17, and it just started pouring out, just drenching like rain all over the place. And they like just kind of like sat there with their umbrellas for like 10 minutes, waited it out, and it stopped raining. Get back on the course. Cantlay has a 24-foot putt, and he cans it right after the rain.
That's ridiculous.
And then Morikawa had like a 12-foot putt, also canned it right after the rain. So that was kind of insane.
Well, I remember Pat and I were on 16 playing. We were playing that day, yesterday, and Pat's just updating me on, because I actually picked Morikawa to win this week, and I was hoping Morikawa to win. Pat, you had money. You
bet $10 on him, yeah.
And I remember Pat just saying they're in a playoff, and then Cantlay is in the bunker. Morikawa is 6 feet par, and Cantlay is 12 feet. And then Cantlay makes the putt for 12 feet, and I think we're both walking down 17 fairway, and I say, and we both say, like, we're not confident Morikawa's making the 6-foot putt for par to extend the playoff. I think I said he would make it, and then obviously he missed.
But we were like, he's shaky. Yeah.
I mean, after seeing Cantlay,
we were like, oh god.
I mean, after seeing Cantlay make these just bombs, like the last 3 or 4 holes and in the playoffs, it's so heartbreaking for Morikawa to like try to follow that up.
I haven't made I can
imagine.
I'm trying to think of like what I think of Pat Cantlay, because like in the past I've picked him to win and stuff, and like because of that, like you have more interest in him, but I can't get myself to root for Pat Cantlay. Not because I dislike him, it's just the ultimate I don't really care about this guy.
Yeah, I was kind of going back and forth with Being the Bookie on Twitter, because Being the Bookie pretty much said like I can't really root for this guy. He just like is so quiet. Like I never like hear him say anything. It's just hard to root for. And I was just like, yeah, he's a silent assassin. Like that's literally what he is. Like
everyone
doesn't really talk.
Everyone wants to root for the Jordan Spieth, Phil Mickelsons, like the guys who are fiery, a lot of character, kind of go like they're kind of all over the place and kind of make it so that it's just it's entertaining to watch. Pat Cantlay doesn't move the needle that much. And I also think my first memory of Pat Cantlay competing in a big golf tournament was the Masters when Tiger won, and Pat Cantlay surges to the lead at one point. And I remember saying, I'm like, if this guy wins, I will be so mad, because I didn't really know of him at all at that point. And that thought is just ingrained in my head. Okay, this guy almost took away Tiger's amazing moment, and he was right. And that's the first thought I have in my head. That's just what I think of every time I think of him.
I also kind of want to bring up, I mean, this has nothing to do with Cantlay or Morikawa, but if I'm not mistaken, I don't know what he did on Sunday. Ricky Fowler finished pretty damn well, didn't he?
He did. He's kind of come back a little bit.
20s.
Now it's kind of funny that you just mentioned his name, because I was actually looking through the U.S. Open qualifying just right now to see, because the Ohio field was just absolutely crushed. Our guy Ches
it always is.
Our guy Ches Reedy went 12 under. He's leading the Ohio thing, so he's gonna make it into the U.S. Open. So let's go, Ches.
Hey. So he's gonna. Is that final?
He's played both rounds. He's 12 under. Like there's no one's gonna catch up to that. Ricky Fowler.
Oh, so it's not done.
So Ricky Fowler's on through 13. He's 3 under. He needs to get to 5 under. maybe 6 to make
Interesting.
it. So
Okay.
he might not qualify. Like right now, he's outside looking in.
Interesting.
That's
That's very interesting.
Okay.
Now,
I
if
would
you look
love
at,
to be able to watch that golf. That would be really
I
fun.
know. I want to watch that. I
That would
really
be
want
fun
to watch
to
that.
watch for sure.
and if you look at the top 16, I think it's 16 make it, the top 16 spots, they're all names that we know. Like there's maybe 1 or 2 names in there that
Like
you don't really
what?
know.
Like
Right now, Ches Reavie, Eric Van Rooyen, Wyndham Clark, JT Poston, Martin Laird, Brendan Steele, Rafa Capreo Bello, Dylan Fratelli, Charles Schwartzel, Sun
wow.
Hoo Kane, Adam Hadwin, Peter Malnati,
So yeah, it's all
Nate
guys that
Lashley,
are
Keegan Bradley. Like they're just all names that we
mainstays.
know.
Like pretty much
It's
mainstays on
Yeah,
the
in
it's
PGA
Vegas.
Tour.
I honestly
Patrick
next year we should
Harrington.
go to one of these next year because it's literally like
Yeah,
going to a
can we?
PGA Tour tournament.
That's
Like
so sick.
But with like pretty much almost not many. I mean, I don't want to say no fans because I have no clue really about it. But like I can't imagine a lot of people are there.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I think we should try that out next year.
I have a hard time believing like for some reason that people don't show up to this stuff because like what you just get to follow Ricky Fowler with no one around him for
I know exactly.
18 holes. That's
Well,
like that sounds.
It's 2
insane.
rounds. They play 2 rounds, so like you have to. It's a long day. They call it the longest day in golf. Kind of moving on to that. U.S. Open qualifying this week. Tons of big names in these tournaments. And like I'm just looking through them right now because like obviously this morning they only finished 1 round.
I mean, you guys will know on Wednesday who qualified and stuff.
Right. I mean, if you go to the
we're recording on Monday night, so
yeah, if we go to the Jupiter, Florida, you got Patrick Rogers, Fabian Gomez, Brandon Grace are notables that
so many guys that like
done.
aren't
They're all done. Yeah, they're gonna
qualified,
make it. Yeah.
but like
Mhm.
yeah,
Ricky needs Patrick Harrington is 1 back of the cut right now too. He's
yeah,
right there.
Yeah, and then in the New York, Cameron Young, who I think is the leader on the Corn Ferry Tour right now, points leader on the Corn Ferry Tour.
Oh, really?
Won the
Okay.
New York one. 3 other guys I don't really know who they are. Bad beat for Rob Oppenheim. He's in as the
Zach
second
Zabak.
alternate.
Zach Zabak went to UConn. They actually, some of the guys I was with today were talking about him, how he was playing well in today's qualifying. That's really cool. He's qualified.
I mean, yeah, a lot of big names. I mean, I'm looking at where is this one? South Carolina, John Huh. He made it in.
Yep.
Akshay Bhatia made it in. Sam Ryder.
Oh yeah, the 19-year-old, right?
Yep. So I mean,
Damn.
it's crazy, and you got to go pretty low to make it.
Oh
And
yeah.
you got to be in the 60s both.
Torrey Pines is gonna be so cool, dude. Because like yeah, we watch a tournament there every January with the Farmers Insurance, but like we don't watch it like tipped out, or we probably do watch it tipped out, but like in U.S. Open conditions, like
the rough
is probably so brutal. The rough is brutal during the Farmers Insurance, like pretty brutal. And what is the winning score of the Farmers Insurance? You're like 12 under ish.
Yeah,
it's not. It's I don't even think it's that much. I think sometimes it's been like closer to 10.
Yeah,
like it's
like 8.
so
yeah.
It's not an easy tournament, and when they grow the rough out and play it like US Open,
Wouldn't be surprised if it's one of those
awesome.
like last year. I mean, minus Bryson maybe because Bryson just broke the course last year.
Yeah.
But like other than that, nobody was under par. So
I mean, it is crazy to see like the amount of names that don't qualify that have to grind to get in the field.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm even like looking like Keith Mitchell got beat out by like 4 guys I don't even know who they are. You know,
that's just like not a lucky day of golf, but like it's one day of golf, so you can either have it or you don't.
Keith Mitchell went 7 under in 2 rounds. He didn't make it.
So he has to have a good week this
Rogers,
week.
Your boy Pat, Pat, Patrick Rogers is qualified. Qualified in Florida.
He's like not actually my boy. Like I would never like watch him, but like he's just I pick him a lot, I feel like
you pick him a lot. You do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think US Open qualifying is fascinating. Just like the fact that they have to play these like 2 rounds in one day, and like you're playing. There's PGA pros. There's PGA like pros from clubs. Like
I've heard that
played today.
The pin locations are absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, it's like a Monday. It's like a Monday qualifier with big names.
Yeah,
that's kind of how I put it.
There's a pro at my club in Connecticut, and I think he played in he got to the final
Oh.
round of qualifying. And Corey.
Oh, right. He's on like the Latin American tour, right?
He got, yeah, I think so, yeah. And he got to the final round of U.S. Open qualifying. I think Will was caddying for him, and
Yeah.
I forgot. I think it was at Westchester Country Club, and Will said the pin location was on the very, very front of a green with like a 20-yard false front dropping down, and if you hit it over the past the pin, if you putt it, it'll roll off the green, and if you land it short of the pin, it'll roll out. Like it was just it would take like 4 chips to just chip it up there and get it in the perfect spot.
That's crazy.
I
think he told me about that story. Yeah.
It was something like that. Something just ridiculous.
You pretty much have to shoot 2 rounds in the 60s to make it through. I mean, our guy Pete Ballo played,
and even then,
Rob Labritz played. So many people shoot like not great in the first round, they just withdraw because like there's no point to playing the second round.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's just kind of how it goes.
Yeah.
Speaking of Westchester Country Club, so bear with me. So I randomly met the squash pro there this weekend.
The squash pro.
Yeah, I met the squash pro at the bar. And
interesting.
His arm was in a sling. I'm like, so how does that work? But anyway, that's really just what leads me to my next point. Is I met Bob Menery at the bar this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you did say that. Yes, that's really cool.
I almost asked him to come on the pod, but then he got like a call from his like girlfriend. I was like, okay, so I guess I'm not gonna call him or not gonna ask him. But he would have been electric to have on the podcast. Really nice guy.
Imagine if somehow, some way, I qualified for the final qualifying of the U.S. Open, and I was just paired with just Ricky Fowler, just in the second round. Like how sick! I wouldn't even care how I played.
Patrick Diamond on the bag too.
Be? Yeah, how sick would that be? Just you're looking over on the putting green and just Ricky Fowler's right there, just putting, and you're putting to the same. I'd purposely putt to the same hole as those guys, just to putt to the same hole and be right next to them.
I mean, you probably wouldn't be the worst. Like some guy shot a 95 in one of the qualifiers today. 95-85 for a 180, 36 over par.
If I was paired with one of them, I wouldn't care at all. Just get me out there to one of them. That's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someday I will try to qualify one day for the US Open. See what happens. I'll see what happens.
It
won't be great.
Did you said here like Jason Day didn't even show up?
Yeah, so he withdrew this week from the Memorial citing back injuries.
Okay.
And he had a tee time today in one of the qualifying events, and he didn't even show up. He decided, I guess he was injured, so he didn't show up. Wasn't really much of a surprise, apparently. But it kind of sucks to see because, like, obviously he's competed in the past 10 U.S. Opens. He has 2 runner-ups. He has a T4. And he also has 2 wins at Torrey Pines, so it's kind of tough for him.
You gotta wonder if Jason Day will ever be back. Like,
he was kind of back. He was kind of back last year.
Like, maybe he needs a fusion.
Probably not that old. Probably like 34.
Well, I mean, these back injuries
I also
are just gonna keep coming up.
Yeah,
Jason Day, he was out. He was like out of it for a while, and then he kind of came back last year for a little bit. He was playing decent last year. Yeah. I think we talked about this before too. He was playing decent, and he wasn't winning, competing in majors. Didn't really seem like, but he was there in a couple tournaments, a couple WGC stuff like that.
Still has that nice short game.
Back into it.
He does.
Yeah, he's. I hope he comes back. I loved him when he.
I feel like you were a huge Jason Day guy.
Awesome. I was a huge Jason Day guy when he won the Players, and I was so happy for him when he won the PGA. I loved him.
Should we talk about some ladies golf?
Yeah, the ladies golf was pretty electric this week. Now, it was a real shame that they put it on at the same exact time as the end of the Memorial. Like, I was on Twitter and like I was flipping back and forth, and like it was just like kind of hard to keep track of, especially when they're on the playoff holes and like the ladies are going up 18 and there's 4 people tied at like the same score. But I mean, the big story coming out of the ladies golf is Lexi Thompson kind of choked it away. I mean, I think she had a 6-shot lead at one point. She had a 5-shot lead going into the day, a 4-shot lead at the churn, and she ended up T3.
Yeah, that's
The Olympic Club looks
brutal.
awesome.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love
it. It looks
it.
incredible.
Looks so cool.
I mean,
All the videos I saw of it looks so cool.
I mean, Lexi, I mean, she was just like, she was kind of like pin hunting, and like at the Olympic Club, you kind of just got to hit it short and let it roll up. Like the other girls were just hitting it short and letting it roll up. She was pin hunting. Balls are going over the back of the green. Balls are landing short and rolling off the front, going into bunkers. If you hit it into the rough, you're done. Like they just couldn't get it out of the rough.
Did you guys watch the foreplay?
I did watch.
I watched it.
I didn't watch
They played
it. Was that
18 at Olympic Club. It looked pretty damn hard. I mean, Lurch shot a 77.
Yeah, Lurch is a good golfer.
It's weird, but like he is.
Now, so they ended up going into a playoff between two girls, and the girl who won, who is actually only 19 years old, she literally has Rory McIlroy's swing. Like,
yes, I
they
saw
have
that.
the same exact swing.
I saw them side by side. I was like, whoa.
Like, and like she has so much power too. Like for like a woman, she's like this little like 5'2" like girl from the Philippines, and she has Rory McIlroy's swing. It was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, dude, you see these girls and like they're averaging like 290 off the tee.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't believe it when I saw her swing, because like I'm like I know that swing.
I'm gonna watch it right now. I'm watching right now. But the other thing I heard is that they took the coverage off of NBC for the gymnastics for
and
the
put it onto the golf
Olympic
channel
trials too,
because they went into a
and put it
playoff
onto the
pool.
golf channel.
Yep.
That's just, like,
They would never do that for like the men's
Olympics
US Open.
Oh,
No,
they went to
would never.
NBCSN for the
No,
playoff.
they went to the Golf
Also-
Channel.
Or that's what I meant. They went to the Golf
Channel.
Channel for the playoff.
Yeah, they took it off
But
of network
also,
television.
why?
Oh, that's tough. That's tough
But
looks.
because also I also heard and saw that because they were worried about conflicting with the gymnastics, that they put the groups out in threesomes so much earlier in the day, and they're at the Olympic Club. They're in San Francisco. This could have been prime time golf for everyone to watch right after the Memorial ends. Go watch prime time golf, but they had to. Then instead they put them on threesomes at the exact same time, and they bump it for U.S. Olympic trials.
You see, like on top of that, also like, so obviously everyone saw like the like women's basketball like weight room and like just how ridiculous that was. Apparently, like the women's college World Series is like similar, like in that like it's just not like equal. Like they're playing like way more like condensed of a schedule. Like they're almost already done, and like the college baseball isn't even the super regionals. And like they haven't had like access to showers, and they've had to play like 2 days in a game, or 2 games in one day after like 8-hour stretches, no access to showers. Like it's just like on
yeah, double bogey of the week.
Yeah, just like the NCAA and NBC, not like, I don't know, just botching it with these ladies, ladies sports.
I mean, they had to have good ratings too. I feel like people were watching this. Like I was on Twitter, and obviously like we follow a lot of golf people, and like everything's golf, but like people were invested into this, and like they just moved it off of NBC when they were probably getting pretty good ratings. And like I kind of like watching the women golf because it's like a better representation of like how I play on the golf course as far as like distances and stuff. Like, you know, if they're hitting a 280-yard drive, I'm like, yeah, I do that. Like I have a similar shot in. Like, I don't know. I kind of like watching the women play. So I
think the whole, you said it was bogey of the week, was how they treated this in reference to the women's softball and women's basketball. The whole week of golf, it was such a great week of golf. So much stuff happened. But then there was also so much stuff that could have been so much better. if it was handled properly in terms of TV, in terms of ROM, in terms of everything like that. It's they're so close to getting it, I think, perfect, where the coverage and putting the women's golf all in prime time, and then Rom playing great. And they literally could have gone from the Memorial. People could have watched the Memorial and then gone straight to the U.S. Women's Open, but instead they were on at the same time, and it's tough to flip back and forth between the two.
They caught it a little bit.
They're both probably going to a playoff at the same time too.
I think they intended on that. They got a little unlucky when Morikawa and Cantlay were going into the playoff. The women were literally hitting their tee shots on the 18th hole. 72nd hole of the U.S. Open. Like if it could have been it would have been so flawless if the Memorial ended, and then I flipped over and they were on the 18th hole. That would have been sick.
So that would have been absolutely perfect. But and both went to a playoff. They both
they're really close. They
are so close.
And whatever. I think the coverage was pretty good for the women's golf when they were on NBC. I don't know if you guys saw this. There's the Loam. She was 17 years old, still in high school.
I did hear about
that. She had an interview, and she just knocked it out of the park. Literally was better than the pros with the interview, and how she handled it.
Getting interviewed.
Where is she from?
It's not easy. I feel like it's
that's hard. That's
knocked it out of the park. I swear, all these
the
golf
US
fans
Open?
are
a 17 at the U.S. Open,
at
the biggest
Open.
Yeah.
I mean, she shot 3 over for 4 days. That's insane.
That's
she's
so
probably going to become a star. I mean, the girl who won it was only 19 years old as well. So, I mean, women's golf is on the rise here. There's a lot of good young players, kind of like the PGA Tour, in a sense. It's kind of the same thing.
I don't think the game. I think after this week was really the kind of people realized, okay, women's golf is legit.
I mean,
this might have been the week.
It does kind of suck though that Lexi Thompson couldn't. Kind of sucks that Lexi Thompson couldn't hold on to it, because right now Americans are not having a great time on the LPGA. The last 12 majors now, I think it is, an American hasn't won on the LPGA. It's been an international winner the last 12. So
yeah. So who are the top ones besides it's Lexi Thompson, Danielle Kang?
It's kind of
this amateur, I guess, probably if she's from the US.
Kind of the same in
she is.
It's the same thing in I was gonna say it's not women's tennis, because women's tennis there's some good Americans, but men's tennis there's no good Americans that actually win majors. So it's I don't know. Some of these sports just get dominated by non-Americans.
Yeah,
I guess women's golf is one of them.
I mean, the Koreans have been really dominating women's golf lately.
Yeah, I feel like you live on the Golf Channel on Sundays, Jeek.
Yeah, if I'm home, I'll be on the Golf Channel unless there's hockey or football. I mean, but it goes from football to the Golf Channel.
I feel
in season.
Not that I've been lacking with my amount of golf watching, but I've kind of been lacking with my amount of golf watching just because there's so much going on. There's the Nets are making a run. 43-point win tonight, not a big deal. Islanders are on a run. NHL playoffs are great, NBA playoffs are great. It's hard to watch golf. It's hard to watch the end of a round or something when Trae Young's splashing on the Sixers.
Right.
Yeah, that's It's
not the end of a round, a middle of a set. I don't know. But
and we're trying to and for me personally, I'm trying to caddy on
trying to play golf.
Yeah.
And then trying to caddy and then play. It's I'm done. It's a long day, and then you come home and looking for US Open will be awesome because it's in prime time US Open golf, best kind of golf in the world. I cannot wait for that to happen.
And I feel like a lot of people can kind of agree with that, no matter how old you are. I mean, more than likely, if you're listening to this podcast, you're not a child. But I feel like everyone has things to do during the weekend.
Yeah,
exactly.
Watching golf, unless Sundays are pretty easy to be home, unless the only excuse is
You're
watching
playing golf
like playing golf,
caddying or something.
Yeah, so like most likely like playing golf is the one excuse, which that was it for us this weekend. But once these playoffs end, it's going to be like nice golf season where you will be tuned in to like,
it's almost like
men's golf.
It's almost like the majors come in like a little too early. Like you'd be pushed back just a little bit.
No,
I could see that, honestly. I think the Masters is a perfect time. I think the Masters is a perfect time. I think the PGA could be later.
Well, the PGA used to be later. They used to have it later on, if you remember. I'm pretty sure.
I know, but I think it's still
the problem with the PGA. The problem with the PGA being so much later was that I feel like once the U.S. Open and British Open ended, it's like, oh, the PGA for like it was kind of an afterthought major. It's like a great like it was what it means. I feel like it means more even in May. That's the whole that.
Yeah, I think the PGA could be where the U.S. Open is now. The U.S. Open could be like, sometime in July, and the Open could be sometime before the FedEx Cup playoffs in like early August or something. And I think that would be I think that would be better.
Yeah,
I think because like
not even moving back a whole month, moving back 2 weeks.
I don't even like.
You want to have you want to give people time if they go from the British Open back to the U.S. for the FedEx Cup playoffs. You want to give time for that, and that's like that makes sense. I understand.
You got to let it breathe in between majors. You got to let it breathe.
I agree.
I don't even like how close the PGA and the U.S. Open are, because I want to be like amped up for a major.
Like all the time.
I know I'm amped up for these majors.
Tennis.
Imagine how this is completely out of pocket, but imagine if they played all the majors like in 4 weeks, just like back to back to back.
Suck.
That would suck. Funny.
That would be awful.
I mean,
it would be 4 weeks of electric golf, but that would suck.
I was gonna say I would complain, but that would.
If you got hot like during those just like 4 weeks, like you're just like some random golfer and you got hot during those 4 weeks and just won like
Todd,
3 of the majors.
Brendan, put it in mid-November and Brendan Todd wins those tournaments.
Yeah, I know. That'd be so funny.
It's like that'd be a sick month though. That would be 1 month out of the year, and that would have to be like your favorite month. It'd be like, oh, okay, it's whatever. It's June.
It's major month, baby. Major month,
baby. It's major month. It's just golf all the time.
Do you make it the same word too? Did you go Masters, PGA, US Open, British Open? Is that what you do?
I guess probably.
But every year,
I might end with the Masters every year. I might flip it. I might end with the Masters every year.
No, I like the Masters.
I feel like you have to start with the Masters because that's
how
it's been.
It's so spring, or I guess it wouldn't be spring then. Maybe
it means the Masters. When the Masters comes on, okay, it's golf.
The weather's turning.
It's officially golf season.
Wait, who said we weren't putting major month in like November?
That's what I was saying. I was like, if it's maybe it's not spring, like maybe it's in November and Brendan Todd goes back to back to back to back.
Okay, this might be one of the wildest hypotheticals we've ever.
If you put it on April, nothing's going on in April besides like the end of NBA season, end of NHL season. That's it. Nothing else is going on in April.
Well, maybe not anymore though. COVID has flipped the whole professional sports schedule on its freaking.
They're gonna go back to more normal.
I hope they don't. I like
Dude,
this.
I wonder what the people listening to this are thinking right now. Like, what are they talking?
I think they like this. I think they might like this better than what we usually do. I like this. It's more fun for us, and I think it's more fun to listen to when it's more fun for us. There's no formula for a good podcast.
Well,
put that on my tombstone. Put that on my tombstone.
We should get it moving though. I think we should move into the people's champ of the week.
Whatever. Put it on my tombstone. There's no formula for a good podcast. It's a good quote, and it also encapsulates how much I hate math.
Okay, so People's Champ of the Week. I don't know if you guys saw this one, but over on the European Tour, a guy named Marcus Armitage.
I did see this. This is really cool.
Yeah, he qualified. He won. It was his first win in 71 attempts on the European Tour. And qualified for the U.S. Open. And he said that his goal was to win since his mom passed away 2 years ago, and that was like the only thing he wanted to do. So pretty emotional over there, and he gets to play in the U.S. Open, which is pretty sick. So
he does. That's really cool. I know got to play in the
US Open.
If
you get a win on the European Tour, that clinches it for you.
Yeah, I guess you get exempt.
You get an exemption.
That's cool. I think it was a decently big European.
Yeah, it was. Paul Casey was in the field.
I saw Paul Casey was in the field. Yeah, I mean, the interview is really, really cool. If you haven't watched it, he's so emotional, and it's just, you can tell it means that more than anything in the world for him.
Yeah, it was. It was the European Open,
really cool,
which is a pretty big one.
The European.
Oh, I would imagine. Yeah.
So yeah, good for him. That was a pretty good story. Cool to see.
So before we move into the skins, I'm just gonna pay a little bit of tribute to the RBC Canadian Open. RIP.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be back next year. Probably will be.
It will most definitely be.
Yeah, it'll be back next year. Honestly, usually a pretty good tournament.
Yeah, I always like watching out
because the Canadian people show out for that tournament.
Yeah, I always like watching out for the Canadian golfers. Like, you just got a bunch of huge like Corey Connor, like Adam Hadwin fans out there. Like,
yeah,
they have bigger groups than Tiger.
It's the Canadian National Open.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, dude, Corey Connor has to win that event.
Like, he has to. That'd be sick.
That'd be so cool.
Got to bet on him next year.
I'm all in on Corey Connor's RBC Canadian.
I love Corey Connor.
Yeah.
Book it.
But we can get into skins with the course preview of an all new golf club. But first, a little word from Roback.
You probably noticed us wearing some new Roback merch over the past few episodes, whether it was the hat both me and Jake are wearing right now. Trevor has one as well. A pullover or a collared shirt. We're partnering with Roback in 2021, and we couldn't be more excited. So head to the link in our bio, add the Roback merch you want, and you'll get 15% off just by using the link. So enjoy and crave activity.
So skins, we have the Palmetto Championship this week. As we mentioned before, it's replacing the RBC Canadian Open this year due to travel restrictions. The course, they're playing at Congaree Golf Club, which is in South Carolina. It's a private club. I don't know a whole lot about the club, to be honest, but it's playing par 71, 7,600 yards. I think it's a pretty tricky course. There's a lot of sandy waste areas. I'm just using my South Carolina accent for that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There's a lot of water.
Potatoes and areas.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't catch on to that. Anyway, there's a lot of water apparently, and it's a high-end private golf club, and I guess it's probably similar to the concession last year.
Kind of cool. I don't know how well. I mean, if it's 7,600 yards, I would imagine it will, I won't concede a very low score.
Yeah, I'm interested to see about it, but it does make it really hard to make some picks because
like for instance, TPC Craig Ranch, I would be surprised if they get it again next year. I mean, they might, just because they might have like a 2-year thing, but I would be surprised if they hold that down.
Yeah, agreed.
What is that? Not the Valero.
Byron Nelson.
Byron Nelson. There we go. It was literally like 4 weeks ago.
The AT&T. Yeah. I knew that. I just forgot. All right. Anyway,
there's so many Texas.
Yeah, but the thing about TPC Craig Ranch is we know about that golf course. Like, people have played it before. It's a relatively public golf course, and it's a TPC course. Like, you know about it, but this course I know nothing about. Like, I've never seen it. I don't know what it looks like. I just know nothing.
Interesting.
Which I think Pat was. I kind of don't have for a minute, but I think Pat was saying earlier that I think it's kind of cool going to courses that nobody knows anything about, and you're seeing it first time, like a private club, like a concession, or like a Congaree golf club, or even like if they somehow went to Pine Valley. You never see that ever on TV, or like Seminole. You never see those. And I think it's so cool going to clubs like that.
I mean, I think the only thing you don't want is you don't want the pros to get to this course and then just absolutely destroy it. Like just 20 under.
Yeah, if you're the superintendent, you're praying. You're like, please don't rain. Please don't rain. Don't like soften it up. But like, I don't know. You're hoping for tough conditions. You're hoping it gets real dried out.
Yeah, you're hoping to showcase it in front of the world. Yeah, pretty much. And I think from what I've heard, this course is tough. I think the winning score will be right around 10 under par, which I think is a solid tournament.
I think a good tournament.
Like 10 to I think like I'd cap it at like 13 or 14 is like, okay, that was a good turn. That was a good like winning score.
It kind of goes both ways a little bit.
It wasn't easy, but it wasn't super overly challenging. You could, if you had to play well, but you couldn't, you didn't have to shoot 72 if you wanted to win or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it will be interesting to see what happens this week. The field, it's a little We've been blessed. We've been blessed with a lot of really good fields lately, just because of how the tournaments are laid out.
Even week before a major,
it makes sense.
Week before a major, it's not a terrible field. Like considering there's a lot of Europeans playing this week, I noticed. But you still have Brooks Koepka and DJ. Brooks likes to play the week before a major. DJ, obviously a South Carolina native, was always going to play in this.
Of course.
Matthew Fitzpatrick, Tyrell Hatton, Harris English, Sungjae Im, Tommy Fleetwood, and Ian Poulter kind of round out the top half, and then there's kind of a bigger drop off after that. But there's still a lot to play for this week. As we mentioned earlier, a lot of guys still haven't qualified for the U.S. Open, and a win would get them there. So there's going to be a lot of guys going for it this week. So with that, we should probably get into the Draftkings Fix.
We should. I'll go first. So my first one, I am going with CT Pan. Kind of interesting pick. I think it has to be the first time in history I picked CT Pan in anything, because
it's first time anyone's picked.
Yeah, I think anyone, because I don't know, it's just not somebody I look at a lot, but he's actually very solid off the tee. I'm pretty sure he hits it pretty far for somebody who's like not tall at all.
Yeah,
and I wonder if he still has his wife on the bag, but anyway, I'll get into it. He's actually made 3 straight cuts. 63rd in strokes gained approach. He's 80th around the green. He's actually a pretty good tee to green too. So, I mean, without a lot of knowledge of the course, I like his current form of pulling together a few straight cuts.
It's very weird seeing CT Pan at the 8-1 number, because normally you're like, oh, CT Pan, I get him like at a steal, but like that's just what the field's like this week.
Yeah,
I'll go with Pat Kazire, 9100. He's played pretty well past few weeks. He had 2 T3s in a row before getting last week. Again, kind of a weaker field this week, so he could take advantage of that. Memorial was obviously a much tougher test and a much tougher field in general. And he's pretty good strokes gained approach, 51st strokes gained approach, 12th strokes gained putting, 47th strokes gained total. So I think a guy in his form playing a weaker field might give him a little confidence going to a tournament that no one really knows about. So if you're playing well, I think a course that no one really knows, if you're playing better going into the week, that helps a lot. So it gives you more confidence for something that nobody knows about in general. So I'll go Pat Kazire.
I guess he's more of a mid-value pick. I'm going to go with Doc Redman. He's 8,000 on DraftKings. Hasn't had the best year, but his game's kind of trending up a little bit. He's made his last 3 cuts. He has 3 top 10s this year. He's 66th in strokes gained approach, but that kind of goes way up when he's playing well. I mean, last year in the 2020 season, he was 11th in strokes gained approach. So you know it's in there. If he has a good week, he'll be up there in strokes gained approach. This seems like the kind of tournament that he might be able to thrive in. I feel like he plays pretty well in some of these tournaments of not as good fields. And he's also not in the U.S. Open field next week, at least from what I know right now. So, I mean, he's got to play to win this week.
Mm-hmm.
And then my next pick, hear me out. It's a little bit of a weird one, but I'm gonna go with Bryson Nimmer. He's 6,300. He's playing on a sponsorship exemption. He's from South Carolina. He actually knows my aunt. So anyway, he's playing on exemption. He's played on I think 5 exemptions this season on the PGA Tour and the Corn Ferry Tour, and he's made the most of it. He's made the cut in every single exemption, except the RBC Heritage. So he's 4 for 5 this season, and he's a South Carolina native. So, I mean, at low value, at 6,300, you want the guy to make the cut. He makes the cut for the most part. So, I mean, kind of throwing it out there, but
yeah,
it is something worth noting, I feel like.
Yeah.
So going off of the South Carolina theme, I'll go with Matt Neesmith. I think that's what we said, right? Or Neesmith.
It's Neesmith.
Naismith.
Ooh, could be
Naismith. I can't. Naismith. Oh, we're calling him Naismith. Naismith.
I don't know.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
He's 7,800. He's from South Carolina. Went to South Carolina. So my guy. I picked him a couple times. I don't think it's really worked out too well when I picked him, but I think I picked him at the RBC Heritage too, actually. But I remember him his stats aren't loading for some reason on the PGA Tour website. So, but I remember him being a great iron player, great driver of the ball, great overall ball striker. So, and obviously he's played South Carolina courses before and knows these greens, knows these courses well. So,
pretty sure he has a first round leader this year. I
think he does.
He does. Yeah.
Like a joint first round leader somewhere.
I remember that though.
Yeah. I mean, also PGA Tour, fix your website. Like half of the guys don't load sometimes.
Yeah, it's weird.
Him and the two guys I look up the most, him and Abraham Answer, their profiles don't work.
You have to go to just the stats page and just go through the one and just Control F and find them. But
that's so annoying though. Like
it is.
It's almost like, okay, I'm just not going to pick this guy because I can't find.
Pretty much,
stats.
Yeah. But yeah, my last one, 7,800. Kind of went with two low to mid guys. Rafael Cabrera-Bello. He's made 3 straight cuts as well. I feel like we've kind of have a common theme here without even knowing it. But he went T21, T32, T37 in that. I feel like for the mid, that's pretty good. For that 7,800 price range. He gained a ton of strokes off the tee this weekend, and except for Saturday, he hit a tough day. But you can just blame that on just an off day. But I like him to do well this week.
Yeah, he also played 2 rounds today, U.S. Open qualifying. He shot a 67 and a 69. So
okay,
good for him. That out there. I think he's gonna make it. He should make it.
All right. And then for skins, this week we have 2 skins on the line. I think we went 0 for 3.
We did go 0 for 3. Trev got close on the winner. Colin Morikawa.
He did.
Losing in the playoff. He almost got the skins, but no blood.
Yeah. So let's go reverse. Jeek, you go first. Trevor goes second. I'll go third.
All right. So for the winner this week, I'm going to pick somebody who needs to win to get into the U.S. Open field, and that's Keith Mitchell. He didn't make the qualifying in the U.S. Open qualifying. I just looked it up. He just missed out on the alternate spot as well. So he's going to need to win this week to make it into the U.S. Open. He currently sits at 158th in the world, so the win is really what he needs. He can't really do anything else. He's only made 12 of 20 cuts this year, but he's made 5 in a row right before the Charles Schwab, which is the last tournament he played. He has 2 top 10s this year, includes a T3 at the Wells Fargo, which was only a couple of weeks ago. And once again, needs motivation, needs to win, so might as well pick him to win. Yeah. And then for best bet, there were DraftKings and FanDuel are a little slow on Monday evenings now, so going with the matchup bet. Camilo Villegas against Rory Sabatini. I think it's even. We're going to go Villegas. And yeah, I don't know. Just kind of random. Feel like he plays well in some of these tournaments. Usually see his name near the top of the leaderboard, so I kind of like it.
I think it's Villegas, isn't it?
Villegas. I don't know.
I'll go with Matt Fitzpatrick as my winner, plus 1,300. I think I picked him at concession as well. Just a guy who plays gritty golf. I think the scores are going to be a little higher, so I think it will be more challenging. He knows how to play those tough condition courses. He's 14th strokes gain off the tee, 19th strokes gain putting, 18th strokes gain total. So he has the stats, he has obviously the pedigree to go behind that, and not a great field either. So he's not going to be competing against the best players in the world like at WGC event like he was in, I think, February. That's when it was. My best bet, I'll go with Naismith over Van Rooyen again. Van Rooyen, I don't know. I haven't heard from him since. The only thing I've heard from him in the past year and a half is him smashing that tee marker at the PGA. So if you're talking about ball striker, I guess he's a good ball striker. But I think he actually qualified for the U.S. Open in one of those qualifying sites that we were looking at. But Naismith, South Carolina boy, go Cox. Best bet over him, over Van Rooyen.
So mine's Patton Gazire. He's plus 46.50, so 46.5 to 1. This is more just like this. I decided to go with feel this week for the winner. I just wanted to like not pick a top guy, but pick someone like, like mid. Like obviously 46.5 to 1's pretty good odds. Also, my roommate, shout out Jackson Quinn, loves this guy for no reason. Always picks him in DraftKings. And for the same reasons Trevor said earlier, he's a good ball striker, really good putter, I think, too. Just overall solid stats.
I think he is.
He's playing well. So then my best bet is Alex Noren minus 125 over Ian Poulter. He gained strokes in all, like every single category last weekend, and he had a final round of four under 68. So I like him. I like him this week. And then do we have a first round leader?
Can we go with Garrick Higo?
Let's do it.
Can we go with Higo?
What's the odds?
But there's
I
no
don't
odds.
even know.
Oh, they're not out.
I think he's 46.5 to 1 to win as well. So probably 60 to 1 first round or something like that.
Are they out, Cheek?
No, they're not out yet.
All right. Well, you'll know, but they'll be out by the time you listen to this podcast.
It's probably like 55 to 1 if I had to
yeah,
somewhere around there.
We'll go with that. Yeah.
Also, I do want to mention we kind of cursed Joaquin Neiman last week. He missed the cut. He was the cuts leader, consecutive cuts, and he missed the cut.
I saw that for I saw he missed the cut. I said
cuts leader now.
I literally said on the pod, it was bound to happen. I mean, it was bound to happen at some point. I said it, so I picked him. We all picked him several times. Every single time we said he makes cuts, he makes cuts, he makes cuts, and then
who's the cuts leader?
Yeah, so Brendan Steele and Jason Kokrak were coming for you.
Okay.
13 straight.
Brendan Steele, we haven't heard of Brendan Steele since.
He's made 13 cuts in a row. So.
Brendan Steele's been in contention at places.
Huh.
Sony Open, he is in the final group.
Yeah, he's got a T3 at the Honda, T4. Well, the Zurich doesn't really count. T4 at the Sony Open.
Yeah.
The Honda was kind of
Zurich. The Zurich always throws me off. I see, he finished second in the Zurich, and then I'm like,
he's made every cut since the Sony Open. He's made every cut since January.
Wow.
17th.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
That's
and
Jason
Kokrak as well. So we're coming for you.
So let's get in the clubhouse. What do we never plan in the clubhouse anymore, which I kind of like. It's kind of like, what are we going to talk about this?
We kind of did plan this actually.
Oh, right. Okay.
It was the most disappointing things in golf, right? Is that what it was?
Yeah, par 3 of most disappointing things in golf. Yes. Okay, so I'll go first.
I'll start.
Okay, you start.
Sparked by what happened. It was sparked by what happened to me, and I 3-putted for par. That's over mine.
Yeah,
the best of us.
You went 2-iron under the green on 8, and 3-putted. Yeah.
Yep.
That was a second. Hitting a good drive on a par 5, not having much in, and you go for it and chunk it, which happened to me.
That happened on 9.
So
I had like 175 into the 9th hole, and
that happened to me on 17.
Yeah,
I chunked into the water on 17. was bad.
Yeah, I will go with. Now, this doesn't really happen to me because I'm not that good at golf, but hitting your approach shot, hitting the flag stick, and it rolls all the way off the front of the green.
Yeah,
Seems like that could be terrible, but it doesn't
that
really
would be
happen.
annoying. It happens a lot in the PGA Tour. Not a lot, but like it does happen.
Yeah, I mean,
the Tiger
hitting the
shot.
flag
We
stick,
said
you
that,
just
I
hit a
think.
you just hit a bowl at a pin right at the or something right at the pin, and it just it's not even close.
Yeah.
And then the next one, I'll probably go with birdieing a hole and then coming out in the next one and like making triple. after
Yeah,
that,
that's a
feeling
big
so
one
good.
too. You feel so good, and then you just everything. You just feel so bad after that, like one tee shot.
I'm gonna go
pass it
with stubbing a putt, hitting the ground first.
that was me. Mine.
That's like the worst feeling ever.
I completely agree. I'll go with this replies from more so tournaments. I'll go with hitting a ball and losing it and having to run back to the tee and with the group behind you and hit a ball with them and then run back to your ball wherever it is. That I've done that before, and it is I swear the most embarrassing thing you could ever do on a golf course is that.
Because you didn't even hit a provisional, and you just you
thought you especially and you can't find it and you have to sprint back to the tee and you're just like it sucks. It absolutely sucks. Another one, I guess I don't even know. I guess related to that, hitting a tee shot out of bounds and hitting a tee shot out of bounds and hitting the second one out of bounds, the second tee shot out of bounds too.
because you did that, right?
I did that. I've done that in multiple
At
tournaments,
Oronoque?
but
Right?
Oronoque, I did do that at Oronoque. Yeah,
That's tough.
but because then you get in that little kind of no man's land of, do I hit iron? Do I keep going driver? What I don't know what to do. What am I doing wrong? Like your headspace is just you're done at that point because then you don't know what you're gonna do next. So that's like the worst feeling, most disappointing thing in golf ever.
All right, I'm gonna go with my last one is going to be just forgetting your wedge on like the previous hole or something, because you're just like, like I do not want to go get that, especially if you're not in a cart. It's like, but either way, it sucks. But it's like, it is just worth it enough that I have to. And we also talked about doing a part 3 of things you would go back for.
Oh yeah, we did talk about that.
Oh, that is a good one. That's going to next week.
Quick story. My roommate, I was playing with him one day, and like we were in Boston, we don't have a car, whatever. We played 18, whatever, finished around, got in the Uber, went back to his apartment, and he's like, "Where's my wedge?" He left his wedge on 18 at the golf course. I was like calling, and wedge has never been found. So that's the worst case.
I'll trade him a wedge for a 5.
I sold him a wedge. Anyway, my last one, I'm gonna group a couple of them together since you guys I don't think said any of them. One is hitting a ball into the fairway and not finding it at all. Like that's the worst. When you just like hit it right down the middle and you literally lose your ball. And the other one is hitting the ball in the fairway and landing in a divot.
Yeah, that divot one was good. The divot one's a really good one.
It happened a lot to me, honestly. I can't think of the last time it happened. But...
Oh yeah, because
I completely understand. You hit a perfect drive right down the middle, and then you walk up to the ball, and it's just in a little tiny little divot, little sliver, like a centimeter below the ground. And you're like, I don't even know what to do with this anymore.
Yeah.
Or also, I would say honorable mention, plugged in the bunker is also very bad.
Up against like the lip or something.
Yeah,
staying up on the lip against it or something like that.
I thrive in those types of shots for some reason.
Yeah, if there's one thing Jeek can do on the golf course, it's like weird bunker shots. I will say.
Yeah, I don't know why.
That's so
maybe
odd.
Maybe it's because I have like a toe like 60-degree wedge and I just have good form on my bunker shots for some reason.
Yeah, it's weird.
I can't do it. I can't even chip like I joke.
No, like
rather-
you can't
wedge.
chip
I rather be in
Yeah.
like a bunker than right off the green.
because zero finesse around.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Zero finesse in the game of golf except for in the bunkers.
It's actually
Yeah.
unreal. Bunkers, I'm at least
Oh
like
my
2 feet or less, but everywhere
Trevor,
else,
you know
it's
that
not even close.
that 15th hole, or 14th hole, the par 3 with like the by the halfway house with like the deep bunkers on the left and right.
Yeah.
That right bunker, G can just like put it to like 5 feet every time at least.
Yeah, that's actually
my
crazy.
God.
I almost aim for that bunker if I'm
But yeah, that was a good par 3. A little not impromptu, but like we kind of just weren't planning on it. But yeah.
Shout out Ryan Bennett for the idea.
Oh yeah, it was Ryan.
I
Bennett.
also shout out me for 3 putting, 8 for par. But
Yeah, that's
to spark it, but yeah, that was shout out Ryan.
But yeah, hopefully everyone enjoys the Palmetto Championship this weekend, and next week is US Open
US
week.
Open. Let's
So
go.
that's gonna be fun. We'll see you then.